Hey everyone, shout out to everybody in the chat that's coming through. Hopefully, you guys can see me. Hold up, y'all. Let me fix myself. Shout out to everybody coming through, coming through, coming through. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Um, I'm trying to let everybody on Discord know that I'm live. Because I didn't do that because I'm not prepared. And gotta do what I got. Mommy duties. Mommy duties. Shout out to everybody that's here. Let me put the bat signal out. Where's my channel? Here it is. No worries. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody come through. Thank you for being here. Let me see. Discord. Where's everybody at? How's everybody doing today? All right. Let me let everyone know. Everyone, live now. Now, hurry up. Get in here, get in here, get in here. All right. How's everybody doing? Hey, Lenise. Hey, Emily B. How you doing? How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Okay. Let me look at my chat real quick. I got to figure out where to put my phone while I'm live. Shout out to everybody. I see everybody here in the chat. Peekaboo, Snoop, Lenise, Bo, welcome. Thank you for being here. Shauna B. Wow. How's everybody doing? Peekaboo, thank you for being here, Peekaboo. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Michelle B, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you. We're gonna start. Hey Bo, how you doing? And then who else did I saw some other folks here earlier. Sweet Jules, just a tea, please. Thank you. All right, we got 77 folks in the house. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody? Yes, hit that like button. It is free. Thank you for reminding the people that it is free to hit the like button because it doesn't cost nothing to just support. Hey Daisy, how you doing? Shout out to everybody from Canada. My goodness, all the beautiful, wonderful Canadians. Thank you. Nikki's like, what's happening? Hope everyone's well. So Cynthia, thank you for being here. Chico just gifted a membership. Look, what is this? Somebody just hit the down bubble. How did that appear there? Did you guys see that? There was a thumbs up and down. Also free. Forget you, T. B10, forget you. All right. He said it's also free to shit, engagements, engage. You hit whatever the hell button y'all want to hit. All right. It is what it is. Realification has been a member for 7 months. Finally caught a live rabbit. Yay. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you, Chico, for gifting memberships. I Tim, be Tim. I swear. Did y'all see that little like thumbs up button thingy bubble? Did you see that? Hey, bossy, how you doing? When did this appear? What is this? What is this? Did y'all notice that? Is this like a visible thing? It's crazy. No, JJ, those posts are still up. I saw them. So who did that? So when you hit the thumbs, so somebody hit the thumbs down and it showed up. You I can't with you guys. Y'all are messed up. You're messing with my feelings. I don't know. How did that even go there? I saw that's pretty cool, but how did that go up and down? I don't know how that works. Is that like a thumbs up thing? Is it the Illuminati? Some shit is not making sense. I'm just saying. Welcome everybody. Chico, thank you so much for the $2. Said hit the like button. I've never seen a button like that either. It's not on my end. Somebody must have hacked me. I don't know, but I've seen that bubble a couple times. I don't know where it came from. I'm getting there. I'm still, I'm getting there. I see it, but I don't know how it happened. Maybe I just changed a diaper, baby diaper, and damn, that shit was stinky. Oh my god. I'm just gonna say that. Damn, that shit was stinky. That's all I'm gonna say. I just changed the diaper. I had to, disinfect and wash my hands. Just saying. No worries, Katie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hey there. Welcome, welcome. You can just custom how do you do that though, Cynthia? I don't know. I don't know how that works. All right, let's get to it. You gonna make clips of you saying you've been hacked. Someone's gonna say I've been hacked. The Illuminati hacked me. I don't know. Pika just gifted a membership. Thank you, Pika. Shout out to Pika. Bunny, you ain't never lie, man. I'm done. Okay, let's get it together because I want y'all are like, rather just starting them. They starting to eat Lucky Charms off my ass off. Well, be careful. Just be careful. Okay, let's get it together. We have so much to discuss tonight. And Nikki was just gifted a membership by Pika. Thank you, Pika, for gifting Nikki. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got to get it together. We have to. There's an article that came out. So as you guys, we broke a little bit on the Charlotte Sena situation. You know, the little girl, the 9-year-old little girl that was rescued yesterday, in case she had been missing since Saturday. They had taken somebody into custody, and we know a name at this point. Well, did y'all know that allegedly this man is actually someone's dad? There's a man claiming to be a son. He actually birthed, like, well, he didn't birth, but he participated in that, like, there's a son out there. I had no idea. Did y'all know this? Did everybody know this? Because this just came like hot off the presses. Did everybody? Jamie, right? Oh my, that was my reaction. He has an 11. Nikki said he has an 11-year-old daughter. What? So he's over here abducting other people's kids, just like the BTK, right? Just like the BTK. So he was doing all that. Well, apparently the man has kids. Man claiming to be son of Charlotte Sena kidnapping suspect breaks silence. Hope he dies in prison. The self-identified son, now he's self-identified, so keep that in mind. Of Charlotte Sena, suspect kidnapper said he hopes his father dies in prison. Wow. So this is an exclusive that they got shortly after police left the property linked to Charlotte Sena alleged kidnapper Craig Ross Jr., which we saw. I put the Vine link mugshot on one of the shorts, and we could look into that. Yeah, he's 46, Nikki. He's 46. This is new. I'm shocked he has. I didn't know he had kids. So the Daily Mail reported he had 2 sons and a daughter. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. See, I didn't even hear that. So the Daily Mail apparently reported Craig Ross. Let me pull this up. Oh yeah. Oh snap. We'll look into that here in a minute. But so he's abducting kids and he's got kids of his own? Is that what I'm hearing? Yes, he's got 3 kids but living in the mama's trailer, right? Right, Nikki. Right. They originally did say he was 51, but he's 46 actually. The information was confirmed by the press conference. He is not a sex offender. So people that had put out that he was a sex offender, that he's Hispanic, and yada yada, that was all misinformation. This is why I was leery about when people were saying, go check so and so's community wall, and there was like pictures of sex offenders, because I get it, they were interviewing sex offenders, and it would have been easy to kind of make that assumption that it was a sex offender, but that was not the case. I mean, he does look like he could be 51. Hey Queen, how you doing, love? You said you need glasses. Let's see. Hey Crane. So he's not living in Mama's trailer. He's living in an RV in Mom's backyard, says ADAS. Thank you. So what happened? There is that was a theory that was out there. Somebody had said um that he was a sex offender because they were interviewing sex offenders. So keep that in mind. But this man apparently has children of his own. Now, some of these children are saying that they're self-proclaimed children. So I don't know if anybody's thoroughly pulled anything on him. I find it mighty funny, not funny, but very interesting that stop being no, I didn't get my info from a Facebook comment. Although there were, let me just say this. Y'all be throwing me some stuff over here. Okay. Yesterday when we were live breaking the story, we broke the whole thing that there was an arrest and that she had been rescued. Some people were in my comments saying that the person was family that had kidnapped her. I kid you not. Who was here in the comments yesterday? I think SW or Pika Vic must have been here too. Was it Chico? It was Chico. Because I was like, all right, don't be trolling my comments with like information that we can't even validate. So yeah. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So these children are self-proclaimed, keep that in mind. I don't know. I just find it interesting that this man, okay, allegedly she was hidden in a cabinet. She knew she was being rescued. And so then what had happened was, he got caught, right? He got caught. But I find it interesting, and I don't know. Do you guys think this is his first offense? I mean, this is the first time he's getting caught? Did you hear he has an MS and it broke AF? An MS. What you mean SW? I don't know what an MS is. Can you spell it out in the chat? Thank you for the $2 though. Yes, and hit the like button, please and thank you. Sorry, I'm lost. What do you mean by MS? Um, it's the first time hearing that, right? I just think multiple sclerosis. What? Did you hear he has multiple sclerosis and broke as AF? Thank you. Well, thank you, y'all. I mean, I can't know all the acronyms, all right? Get it together. I can't. Thank you, though. Um, he has multiple yeah. Peachy, how did he do all this by himself? Thank you, Bo. But then not only that, then my question becomes like, if he had MS, like, is this the first crime he ever committed like this? I'm just saying. It's I don't know. All right. And where did you hear, SW, where did you hear that he has MS? I don't think, yeah, cite your sources, SW. Cite your sources in the chat. Thank you. You think he has a mule? You think he has a mule or he is a mule? This is why I'm asking who is his guardian? Is that what you're throwing? Yeah, Callie, that is true. Sometimes people's MS aren't that bad. I would agree. I have a friend who also has MS, and it you're absolutely right. It's like different for everybody. But like what? Interesting, Katie. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, first of all, he's a dumb criminal in general, but it makes me wonder if he was bold enough to do this, has he done it before? Kind of curious. So apparently, Craig Ross Jr., a man pulled into the driveway and identified himself as a suspect son before ordering reporters to back up. Yeah, he's my father, but why do I have to deal with this ish? They spelled out the, bad words. He shouted without providing his name. Everyone is asking me all this. I don't know anything. I hate him and I hope he dies in prison. He parked in the driveway, went through the front door, and continued to speak through the screen. Very young guy. About a half dozen law enforcement officers have been searching a home in Porter's Corner, New York, where Ross, 46, lists his address after the arrest on Monday. Investigators, suited, carried out multiple boxes of evidence before departing. Mm. So this is the alleged son, a man claiming to be a son, the son of Craig Nelson Ross Jr., arrives at the New York State Police collected evidence at the 13th Circle Drive in Porter's Corner, New York, listed as the home address. It's a picture. So after a state police car pulled out of the driveway, two people arrived and approached the house, including the man claiming to be Ross's son. Authorities arrested Craig Ross Monday evening, hours after he allegedly stuffed a ransom note in Cena's family inbox, or excuse me, not inbox, mailbox. See, I'm part of the, you know, online days, so inbox, mailbox might be one of the same. Um, it's a lot of rumors, no? Absolutely, Lonnie's not really great credibility. I mean, think about it. Who wants that kind of attention? You know? So one of the news briefings today said that he had MS. He left a note in the family mailbox with a fingerprint on it. Right, but he had MS? Did he act alone? Right, why attack the kids? Um and he acted alone. Right. They took nothing out of the house. I watched it live, says Gray Wolf Paranormal Lindsay. Interesting. Well, what did they did they take any boxes or anything? You said they took nothing, Lindsay? I'm just kind of curious. Let's go to this Daily Mail exclusive. Now, let me tell you guys something about the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, in my opinion, is trash. I'm sure that's well known that it's trash, but it's trash because it steals from other smaller resources and journalists, and then they call their stuff exclusive when really they took it from another source. That's really what it is. Mm-mm. So let's talk about it. Son of Charlotte Sena kidnapping suspect Craig Ross Jr. says he wishes his father was dead after missing child is found in his upstate New York camper. So nothing, we've read that. They probably took that from CNN. So Ross's adult son, Joshua, that is his name, Joshua Ross, was confronted at the kidnapper's home where Joshua said he lives. In upstate New York, when he was confronted by reporters, seemed completely done with his father. There he is, and some of you guys said that it was more than one kid. Super trash, right? Um, I don't know. Keep it real is a great question. Did the mother know anything? I don't know about my opinion. Well, I mean, I just take it back to like, do is this the first time he's done that? You know, I don't know. Pictures at all measure of his yards. He resides with his mother, apparently, and we're gonna look into the press conference here. Sounds like he's not a good father if the son is talking like that. Right. Well, we don't really, or maybe he found out that his dad did this and he was there, or maybe there's more to the story. I'm kind of curious to know what of that. Pika, thank you for gifting memberships. And thank you so much. Whoa, whose kid is there? Looks scared. I would be scared too. But it's an adult son. Keep that in mind. So Craig Ross Jr.'s son, Joshua Ross, with an unknown woman at the kidnapper's home. Here's some pictures. Up, y'all. Let's view them. Y'all see that? That's him. I mean, wow. I'm looking to see if does he wear glasses or he does not wear glasses? Because his son wears glasses. Kind of curious. I mean, this must be really tough because the kids always get the blame. And here's Craig Ross Jr. with one of his son's former wife, Lorena Kelsey Ross. They're at a football game. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the comments. Absolutely, Nikki. A 9-year-old is still a child. So Charlotte was located. Thank you so much. Charlotte was located at the trailer of mom's backyard, which was located behind the mother's home, where the suspect was also arrested. Thank you, Laura, for that clarification. SW and Realification just gifted each both 5 memberships. If you received a membership from these wonderful, lovely supporters of my channel, can you guys please drop a heart in the chat? Thank you, SW, and thank you, Real, and thank you, Chico and Pika, for your guys' giftings today. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you. Um, yes, he looks like a normal kind of dad. I'm just, you always see pictures like this, and it's like, how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? How did we get here? But I guess this is when I must have been different times. I don't know, guys. I just get the sense that he might have done something like this. Let me do this. I want to get a poll because it's SW's favorite thing in the world, polls. Um, do you believe that this is Craig's Ross first time doing this type of crime? And I'm going to add a third option. I'm going to add not sure. So I'm asking everybody. And while you're down there, I have over 330 some people here. Make sure you're hitting that like button. It supports my channel. Thank you. But the question is, do you believe that this is CR's Craig Ross, first time doing this type of crime? You have yes, no, and not sure. Okay? Go vote. I'm kind of curious to know where this lands. I'm be honest with you. I'm like curious. Allegedly, they're saying Lana that this is his son. They're saying that this is his son. And when did the MS diagnosis become a thing? Like, when was he diagnosed? Do we know that? The last Rowan said no. Okay, well, y'all vote. Let me know. Everybody should be voting and hitting that like button, please, and thank you. Hey, Fitzla, thank you for being here. First time getting caught, she says. Okay. But he's done it before. This is the first time getting caught. Has he done this before? Ooh. Question is, do you believe that this is SR's first time doing this type of crime? 19% said yes, 53% said no. Wow. Give me one sec, you guys. Sorry about that, guys. Uh what are you guys saying? What do you guys think? This is the first time kidnapping? A young lady, actually 2 miles away from his mom's house 20 years ago went missing in the area and was found dead, says it's great. I have a hard time believing that this would be the first time that he would have done something like this. I'm kind of with Sophie on this one. No. Hey, Sakina says, I find it hard to believe that this is the first time who wakes up and takes a kid. I don't buy it, right, Sakina? I'm there with you on that one. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a minute. Squeaky Wheel says, yes, this is the first time he got lucky in the abduction itself, but the rest of it was a clusterfuck. Writes a ransom note, leaves a fingerprint, drives his own car to a home under stakeout. That's a good comment. I love your comment. Yes, is this the first time kidnapping? I should have clarified. Is this the first time that he kidnapped, getting caught? Do you guys think this is the first time he's kidnapped somebody or got caught or whatever? I don't know. I guess that would be the question. This type of crime, it is pretty sloppy. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in these votes because I'm stuck on this poll. Okay, so 20% believe that this is the first time Craig Ross committed this type of crime. 53% said no, they don't believe that this is the first time Craig Ross committed this type of crime. And 28% say not sure. So we still, I mean, some of you guys believe this is not the first time. That's what I'm seeing. I think it's very easy to throw him under the bus if he's disabled and vulnerable, but we don't know that. Right, Katie? That's very true. We don't know the extent of his MS. So keep that in mind. So this is them. This is Ross was arrested at his mother's trailer in Milton, New York, for allegedly kidnapping Charlotte 9. The property is pictured. So this is Charlotte, beautiful little girl. And MaileyDale.com can reveal that Ross reportedly suffered from MS, had just moved to the trailer 4 weeks ago because his condition had worsened. So did he think he wasn't going to get caught? Like, what was his plan? Craig Ross Jr.'s trailer where he kept Charlotte Sena in a cabinet. There's the trailer, y'all. He had her in a cabinet. Right, Brandy? That's a good question. Like, how much did the family know? Amy's like, I need more information. No worries, love. I know. Do we know? Do know he essayed her, right? We don't know that. Just kidnapping. It's always been kidnapping for essay reasons. We don't know. She was taken to the hospital, but we don't know if. Ugh, I hate saying that because it's like I pray that that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? I truly pray that this mother effer, okay, didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm glad that they found her. He probably kidnapped her for a few hours at most, but then let the victim go. It's not at all unusual to keep victims silent, but they found her in there. He didn't let her go. She was rescued. Let me see what you guys are saying. I pray right, Sandra, that's where I'm at. Like, I pray that that's not the case. Yeah, he has MS, believe it or not. He has MS, you know? Police say she is not harmed physically. Great grandma said, "You're right, great grandma. That was that was what they put out there. E She was not harmed physically, but we don't know." You sent me an article on Discord? Alright, I'm checking my Discord right now. Thank you so much, SW. Hold up, y'all. Discord. Thank you, thank you. Is it under live stream or is it a message? Thank you. Okay. Ooh, thank you, thank you. She sent me a Fox News article. Is this the same one we just saw? Ooh. Just send me hold up, y'all. Let me shut this down. Let me show you guys what is going on here. Let's share this tab right now. This is when he was in custody. Hold up. But essentially, the article says, "Who is Craig Ross, New York's recluse, accused of hiding kidnapped 9-year-old in camper cabinet?" So, Craig Ross Jr. had a few minor run ins with the law before allegedly kidnapping Charlotte Sena. Let me scroll down. The 46-year-old New York man accused of kidnapping the 9-year-old off of her bicycle at the state park over the weekend has a minor criminal history and was living in a camper behind his mom's double wide trailer. Craig Nelson Ross Jr. pleaded guilty to drunken driving. Drunken driving. I would have said drunk driving, but it's drunken. That's how they wrote it. Driving charges in 1999, forcing him to submit a fingerprint sample. And this is how they were able, the sample that they had in the past is how they determine this fingerprint sample, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. And shout out to everybody that's here. So, forcing him to submit a fingerprint sample, which on Tuesday led to his arrest in the Charlotte Sena abduction. A ransom note, according to Governor Kathy, was stuffed into the victim's parents' mailbox around 4:20 a.m. Monday as the state troopers were standing guard. They ran two sets of fingerprints at about 2:30 p.m. identified Ross as their suspect. But Ross' criminal charges were initially minor until this week. Ross was arrested on September 28th, 1999, and received a conditional discharge the following October for a DWI case after pleading guilty and paying 325 in fines. According to court documents obtained by Fox, his driver's license was suspended for 90 days. April 21st of 2017, New York State Police arrested him on a misdemeanor charge of criminal obstruction of breathing. What is it? Is it breathing? According to contemporary police blotter report in the local newspaper. Additional details. Did I say that correctly? Obstruction? What was this criminal obstruction, though? Let me know. Ooh, crafty kid. I'll read your comment here in a minute. Thank you for tagging me. So, additional details in the case were not immediately clear, and state police spokeswoman did not respond to a request for comment. A year earlier, at the Saratoga Springs, police arrested him on another misdemeanor charge. That one for aggravated harassment, according to another blotter entry. Specifics were not immediately available. The charge ranged from annoying a victim over the phone to physically striking them. Police said they had no record of the incident, indicating it may have been sealed or dismissed. Ross was involved in another police call in 2016 where there were no charges in the incident. A longtime neighbor of Ross' mother's house said the suspect's mom was a mean drunk who never let him in her home, a double wide trailer in Milton, New York. He asked to be identified as Michael once. Once Michael and Ross were around 10 years old, the latter cut his finger. Michael said, I told him we should go to your mom for a band-aid, he said. She shouldn't let him in, and he took this big boulder and smashed it against the door and kept smashing it. She opened the door only to hand him a band-aid and send him packing. They went to Michael's mom to clean it up and put it on, he said. Ross' mother did not immediately respond to calls or messages seeking comment. Ross eventually became a recluse. He said and saw him so infrequently in recent years that he didn't recognize him with the beard in his mugshot. Earlier this year, he said Ross put a tarp on the camper window facing his, which at first he thought was to cover a leak, but now appears more suspicious. Suspect kidnapper left for what Michael presumed was work before 5 a.m. He did not know what his neighbor did for a living. The local news station described him as a mailman. A mailman. County authorities said they had no additional felony records for Ross beyond the new kidnapping charges. He went through two divorce cases and he sued a woman over a 2019 car crash, but both sides agreed to drop the case, court records show. On Wednesday, investigators in jumpsuits were removing boxes of evidence from a camper which is parked behind his mother's trailer. Ooh, about 23 miles south of where Charlotte had been abducted days earlier from a trailer at the state park. State and federal tactical teams raided Ross's camper Tuesday, tossing a flash bangs before arresting him despite attempts to resist capture. Within the camper, they located the suspect, and it was said on Monday evening news briefing. After some resistance, the suspect was taken into custody immediately. The little girl was found in a cabinet covered. She was rescued. State police had issued an Amber Alert Sunday, warning the child was abducted and likely in danger. They canceled it 2 days later, and she was reunited with her family at the hospital following the raid. You know what? Let me stop right here. They issued the Amber Alert late, right? They were looking for signs because typically every state is different as it pertains to Amber Alerts, but they issued the Amber Alert late. I know law enforcement isn't saying a whole lot right now, but I kind of wonder is if they issued the Amber Alert late because she was abducted Saturday, they didn't issue the alert till Sunday. It kind of makes me wonder if the police got tipped off that she had been kidnapped and had been taken by Ross. And then what they did is maybe when he left the note and left that fingerprint, that might have been the thing to say, yeah, here's one and two. I don't know. And this is just an assumption. So I think it was just a mailman. They didn't really say whether it was UPS or FedEx or anything like that, though. But that's a good question. Why make these things public? Curious. I don't know. This guy Ross was cash starved and in financial troubles. Ooh. Oh, his right. Kidnapper for ransom was the best idea I can come with up with. Right. But it kind of made me wonder, like, how what tipped them off to a kidnapping? Like, what had happened there to even think that this what it was? Because they assumed that she had wandered off. That's right, Nikki, to the woods and didn't want to call it in as an abduction too early. But then they got the fingerprint and then they from the letter, okay, he's not the smartest criminal. I guess that's I'm glad that she was found, but I'm just kind of wondering like was there more to this that led up to it or was it just the fingerprint? Sarah, thank you for becoming a member, love. Part of my work is knowing how people are and what they do. This guy doesn't fit. Hold up. What did you say? This guy doesn't fit. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. I want to look at the comments. No, he's not a registered sex offender. But because I saw that report all over, you see, Smokey, that's what we were talking about. So for those that are coming in, this man was not a registered sex offender, although the reason why everybody was seeing it was because um, New York State Police, FBI, all these agents were actually interviewing registered sex offenders. So people immediately assumed that it was a registered sex offender that had kidnapped her. But this man is not, he's not Hispanic. There was no registered sex offender or anything like that. Oh, I suspect the daughter, 11-year-old, goes to school with Charlotte. But just a theory. Hit the like, please. Thank you. Hit the like, hit the like. Do you think she goes to school? Well, because if that's allegedly, if he's got kids, could be that's how they're connected. I mean, that's a good assumption. But nothing was really clear. Let's go to for those that does everybody watch the presser? This was last night, and I watched it. Shout out to Ikamel. I watched it at Ikamel's. Denise? That's what my thought went too. Is that maybe he stole money for medication? But for those that have not seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and play it because I didn't get to see it all. And this is Mel's portion on Facebook. I mean, I saw some of it, but not all of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did everybody watch it? I have more questions. I truly do. Truly, truly. Let's see. Hurry up, lady. Here we go.
Coming in.
I will say this. I think law enforcement did a phenomenal job here. In this whole situation. They acted
There she is.
right away. I wish they would do this with every
Good
missing
evening.
child.
This is a very good day. It's been a long 2 days, but tonight our prayers have been answered. We're overcome with relief and gratitude for this gift to all of us. And it is the people standing here with me that remind me why I'm so proud to be the governor of this state.
Nice.
Incredible men and women who were relentless in their pursuit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in Mel's chat and we were watching this, and I said, this lady gives me Clint Eastwood vibe. I love Clint Eastwood, but she kind of gave me like the Clint Eastwood. I don't know. There's like a tone to her that reminded me of Clint Eastwood. I could be wrong, but y'all tell me in the chat.
Finding this little girl. Yesterday, I held Charlotte's parents in my arms. David and Trish, I went to the campsite. I saw the place that she had just been a joyful little girl the day before, riding her bike, because I was on the road she rode her bike on, saw where she left it. And her parents were just so overcome with sadness and grief. And as a parent, I thought my own heart was breaking. And I said to them, I promise you this, we will bring Charlotte home to you. And as each hour went on, hope faded, because we all know the stories. The first 24 hours, there's hope. But when you hit 48 hours, hope starts to wane. But when Charlotte disappeared in Monroe State Park, it was every parent's worst nightmare. But I knew I would be able to have assembled the team of individuals who would not stop. And I want to thank at this moment the individuals gathered here tonight and all the men and women across this state that they represent. And the FBI brought in their specialized trained individuals all the way from Washington.
This is how and I thank you for your comment. I would agree, Mind of Monsters. This is how every child that is missing should be treated. We got so many kids missing in Ohio, okay? And they don't even get this attention. All right? It should be every child at this point. But it's not.
To help with this search.
Unfortunately.
I want to thank Deputy Superintendent Richard Allen, Lieutenant Colonel James Barnes, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Major Dennis Shager for their work. New York State Park Police, Colonel Michael Dodona, the Office of Parks and Historic Preservation, Chief of Staff Randy Simons, Saratoga County Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Jeffrey O'Connor,
officers.
the Schenectady County Sheriff's Office, represented by the Schenectady Police Department, Police Department of Schenectady, Detective Sergeant Bradley Carlton, the Federal Bureau of Investigation Acting Agent in Charge, Alfred Watson, who I met yesterday on site, New York State Department of Corrections and Community Services, Acting Commissioner Daniel Marticello, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Forest Rangers, Basil Sagos. As I mentioned, when you hit that 48-hour moment, you realize it's going to be tough. And you start thinking the worst. But what happened was extraordinary. The case started to break at 4:20 a.m. this morning, when the family's home that was being guarded by state police, when the parents were still starting another day at the campsite where they'd last seen their daughter. 4:20 a.m., the car pulls up to a mailbox. Something is left. State police immediately go to the mailbox and identify what is a ransom note that had been left behind for Charlotte. State police worked diligently trying to find a match for a fingerprint. First one tried and wasn't successful. Second one was to identify any other prints in the New York State database that would be a match. The hit came at 2:30 in the afternoon. There had been a DWI in 1999 in the city of Saratoga.
Wow.
A fingerprint was found. that matched what was found on the ransom note. So
I want to know what the ransom note said. You know? See, Grain, you and I were thinking, we see each other. I want to know what the ransom note said. Seriously, I want to know what the ransom note is saying. Let me see. I want to know if he is his own guardian. Most missing are runaways, parental or over 14, and they get less attention, in my opinion. Yes, Heels, that's correct. This is a political do y'all think that she made this political? Because I am kind of wondering at this point, is the heroes are the cops, right? I want to see the cops speak on this. I want to see the federal agents, like, they let her do the talking. This is why I say, yeah, it's like she kind of gave me like the Clint Eastwood. Shout out to I love Clint Eastwood, but it did kind of give me that vibe where I'm like, well, really, lady, the heroes are them. The guys behind you, the guys in the blue, they spoke. You know, I hope that this is not a political agenda. Okay, just saying.
a little more research work to identify the location and identifying the fact that there was a home they could visit. They found a double wide house with a woman, the suspect's mother. The suspect lived in the camper behind.
Mm.
They have what they call a dynamic entry, a tactical maneuver, and within the camper, they located the suspect. After some resistance, the suspect was taken into custody, and immediately the little girl was found in a cabinet, cupboard. She was rescued, and she knew she was being rescued. She knew that she was in safe hands. Her parents were immediately notified. This occurred at 6:32 this evening. The suspect, 47-year-old male named Craig Nelson Ross Jr., is still being questioned. At this moment, charges have not been brought, but they are fully expected. The daughter was transported to a local hospital, as is customary, and that's all the family wishes to reveal at this time. But they are united. She is in good hands. She appeared to be outwardly physically unharmed at the time, but we'll leave the rest to just information about little Charlotte to her family at a time they deem appropriate. Often these stories don't end up like this.
Okay.
Every second is key. There's a lot of pressure. Split decisions are made. Because you know, not just a life is hanging in the balance, but a little innocent child's life is hanging in the balance. So to the teams behind me, you work quickly. You work with great urgency. You put it together, the puzzle pieces. You're able to track down the location of Charlotte through technology, but ultimately it was the two SWAT teams, one federal, one state, that landed in helicopters in Boston Spa to rescue Charlotte.
Wow.
Still pretty overwhelming, because all of us feared the worst. But I promise Trish and Dave, they would be reunited with little Charlotte once again, and she'd see her two sisters, one 10, one 4 years old. And obviously it's a traumatic event for the family and certainly Charlotte. And we'll continue to keep this family in our prayers as they heal. But she'll be going home. That's the story. Charlotte will be going home. That's all I have to say on the details. Certainly there'll be many more coming out with respect to the suspect and how that case will proceed. And I want to thank the media for their intense interest and the 400 volunteers who do not give up, for 400 individuals from law enforcement, fire departments, city, county, state, and federal. It was an awesome sight to witness up at the state park yesterday. Everyone doing their job. But also, there are a lot of parents out there among the ranks, and everybody thinks, if it was my child, I would want everybody under the sun looking for them. And that's what this team did.
Right, Jamie.
So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
You guys the chat.
Charlotte home. Any questions?
What were Schenectady agencies involved in this case?
Charlotte's uncle was a member of the police department in Schenectady. I understand if that's not correct. Someone correct. Fire department.
Was the suspect known to the family?
It has not been determined that the suspect was known to the family.
Who's that?
Was Charlotte randomly targeted, or did he know the family?
That is what will be revealed after more extensive questioning. The vehicle registered to the suspect, the address in the database was 2 miles from Charlotte's
I want to see what's in the ransom note. Like, I'm kind of curious to know what he wrote.
home, but it is not known at this time whether he knew her or had her under surveillance for any length of time.
Sean.
Governor, can you say, you said a letter was delivered. Was it delivered by mail carrier or was it delivered by a third party? Do you have that information at this point?
It appears that it was by the suspect himself.
Right.
That he literally drove up to the family's mailbox, assuming they were not home, 4:20 in the morning, opens the
4:20?
mailbox and inserts the ransom note.
So the way I see it, Bree, that's a good question. Y'all caught that at 4:20 a.m. a vehicle drove up and left something in the mailbox home, being guarded by state police. They discovered a random note, and the note was ransom. Yes, he physically left the mailbox himself where the police they were watching the house. So he had her abducted already. I saw it, love. I saw it. Thank you. I'm gonna pull it up here in a minute. Thank you, SW. He saw the house was already guarded. They were already watching the house. So do they have footage of him driving up to the house and leaving the note there? And then when they left the note, not only did they get his license plate, but also the fingerprint. Why didn't they? Would they have enough to arrest him there? Well, you know what? Here's my question though. Whose vehicle did he drive? Because it's not like he drove in his. What kind of a vehicle was it? His vehicle? Not like a mailbox or what is it? A mailman vehicle, right? Yeah, they could have been. Emily, thank you, B. Damien, Emily, excuse me, thank you, Emily B. Thank you for the 9.99 love. Thank you. I have a lot of questions too. No, I know what you meant, but my question is, why didn't they have eyes on them on the car instead of waiting for the fingerprints? Right, Bree? Maybe because I don't know. Right, Sam. They could have followed the man at 4 a.m. It was 4, but they were there. They caught him. Kirikou says it is illegal. I leave stuff for my neighbors all the time in their mailboxes. I don't know. You emailed me an article? Okay, I'll check it out in a minute. They would have had known what they had, right? After he dropped off the note, the cops didn't give a chase or make any attempt to pull him over. Why? Nobody knows why. That's what I'm saying. Is the way in which this kind of played out is kind of weird, but I also don't know what their thought process was.
Leaving a critical piece of evidence behind, his own fingerprint.
And I would assume that the car details were also taken into consideration at that point in the process.
It happened very quickly. Obviously, it's dark. It's 4:20 in the morning, so it's hard to get a description of the vehicle. But there was some sense of the type of vehicle at the time when they left. So as they're piecing together all the evidence, it came together when they did the fingerprint match. It leads you to a name, it leads you to a vehicle, and that's why we know that he had a home. His mother's home is where he was found. Again, double wide trailer. Mother lives there. Double wide home. He lives in a camper in the back, or at least he was there. But he also had his name was registered to a vehicle, and the address was a home 2 miles from where Charlotte lived.
And this just came out of nowhere. He just showed up at 4:30 in the morning.
Apparently so.
Can I say anything?
Have you spoken to Charlotte at all or Charlotte's family since she's been found?
I've made a number of inquiries to the family. This is a traumatic time for them as they're going through, her health, taking care of her health right now. And I'll be speaking to the parents soon as I can.
You said there was some resistance with the suspect. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
When we made the dynamic entry into the residence, he did give our SWOT operators, our SWAT people, some resistance in there. He was taken into custody. He did suffer some very minor injuries, but it was relatively minor, nothing big in the scuffle.
Great, thanks everybody.
There's still a lot of searches underway. The home that he's registered to, a lot of information. And so you want to make sure that he's not connected with any other cases. So that's why it's still an ongoing investigation. But at this time, there's no evidence of that.
Well, at the end of the search, what was the extent of the search in terms of the scope area that investigators, searchers were looking at?
I'll let you answer, Colonel. But
Are you asking about at the park?
The scope beyond the park? I've heard reports that it was beyond the park as well.
The original scope of the ground search was within the park. The information we received that took us to Boston Spa was obviously outside the park. We had no ground search operations going on outside the park other than leads we were running down that we were developing throughout the 2 days.
Great, thank you.
Here's a letter saying.
We're not going to
takeaways
disclose that.
from this massive search? What were some of the biggest takeaways from this search? Now that it's wrapped up.
I would say the biggest thing is you look at all these people behind us. It's cooperation of all the agencies. We don't work in silos. We have to work together to accomplish something like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna read some of those comments. They see how she said they didn't see a vehicle well. I think they were watching on a ring camera, not in person on site. Maybe the ring cam caught the vehicle. Momo says maybe because the girl wasn't in the vehicle and they didn't want to endanger her in case he was working with someone and they could harm her. Yeah. Um how the fuck did he know where the family lived after he had the child? Maybe the child give the address. The child didn't tell him her address. No, I hear you. This is a lot of great questions. This is like, and that's where I'm at. You know, Uh, yo, y'all are asking phenomenal questions. At least she's safe. You know what? And that's first of all, that's number one. At least she's safe besides being traumatized. Absolutely. At least she's safe. That is the biggest thing. Hold up, y'all. Let me keep playing this and then we will move
And
forward.
you can never be too careful with your kids. You know, pay attention to where they're at, what they're doing. You know, things can happen in an instant. You know, Charlotte was no more than probably 0.2 of a mile from where she was camping in a small area, and she was gone for her to ride her bike around that loop would take her about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You know, so you think they're safe doing that at 9 years old, but you just got to be cognizant and be paying attention to things around you, your surroundings all the time. You know, these things happen in a hurry, and unfortunately today this ended in the right way.
Will there be
Any
any,
idea on the motive?
will there be any security protocols moving forward?
We'll be doing the after action report to identify any areas where the state parks can make any improvements. But obviously, this is a very random incident, and basically anyone who comes in and out of that park will have come through a certain entryway. Their name is, they purchase a ticket. You have their name in a database, so that is why that's also helpful to identify who's in the park. So that's also in a sense a security measure because we always know who's in the park.
Did the suspect enter within 9 days?
We don't have any. We don't know how many
Even
days.
two helicopters, the arrest affected by the helicopters over the ground.
The arrest wasn't done by helicopter because of the seriousness of this incident. We brought in sword operators from throughout the state, and to expedite this, because obviously it was very time sensitive, we flew about 10 of our sword operators from downstate to be here to help with this entry. We normally operate about 6 or 8 people on a team. We had probably 20 sword operators make this entry with an FBI regional SWAT team. What SWORD stands for is our Special Operations Response Team. They are like most agencies have a SWAT team. We do that type of thing with our sword operators. They're full time in that capacity, but they also do other things that normal SWAT teams don't do. We respond to high angle rescue and different things with that team. They're a highly trained, highly capable unit that we use for just this type of thing. This is what they train for. This is what they live for. Is to make entries.
Yo,
like
you
this
guys
and save
tripping.
someone's life.
I think she's on something.
I have two questions. Does this thing affect how trailers are sent out? Was there a delay this time? 'Cause a lot of people are asking about that. Is the park back open tomorrow?
Well, yeah.
I want to go back to the park. Is it open tomorrow?
Any idea on the motive?
I take tickets.
Dates tomorrow that we should be aware of?
When we have more information, we'll have updates on our website.
Any press conferences we should be aware of tomorrow?
With this tonight, probably not, but we'll let you know. We have
That's a good point, though.
it's an ongoing active investigation. So we have a lot of work to do.
So were
Okay.
police present at the home when the transfer was dropped?
They were in the area. They were not able to get the vehicle. There was some suspicious activity, and we were able to obtain the note.
Where was the camper in relation to the family?
Right behind the house.
Was he a registered sex offender?
He's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh.
There you go.
Yo. Okay. So I got.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. Shout out to Mel. Okay, I'm gonna go right here because this is the article people have been sending me at this point. But Keels asked a really great question. He was a mailman, right? Is that how he knew her? He knows that. I mean, do my mail people know me? I'm not. Let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know your mail people? Does everybody here know their mailman? I'm curious. But that was a great question. The last question, whether he was a registered sex offender, and he is not. Y'all know your mailmans? You do? Crane's like, yeah, his name is Bob. You know yours? I don't want to know my mailman. Is that a bad thing? Like, let me stop because I just, they change them all the time, but I don't do the small talk. I hate small talk. And maybe I feel like every time somebody comes to my door, it has to be small talk. So I don't know my mailman. I'm okay not knowing my mailman. I don't like the small talk. Just give me my mail and let's go. You give them Christmas gifts? Look at you. Yo, I'm not even trying to do small talk and y'all are giving mailman Christmas gifts. You know your mailman? Do I run and hide? I avoid. I don't have to run and hide. I just avoid. I don't want to know the Amazon drivers because they change them all the time. They change them all the time. I don't run and hide. I just avoid. I'm like that. You give your yo. Now you make me feel some type of way about this. I guess I have to know my mailman. All right, whatever. Shout out to the mailmans. I just don't do because it's a lot of small talk, and I just don't do small talk because I'm like I really could be doing something else instead of small talking. You know your FedEx guy. Well, shout out to you. You want to know your mailman now? At least like I know my mailman. I don't know my mailman. I refuse. Okay, I refuse. But what are we going to talk about? Mail, grass, the neighbors. I'm good. I'm good. All right, let me stop. Okay. Um. This is an article that you guys were sending me. Charlotte Sena updates. Family speaks out as Craig Ross is charged. So let's look into this. So the 46-year-old suspect who allegedly snatched the 9-year-old from a New York campsite, then taunted her parents with a ransom note, has now been charged with her kidnapping. Charlotte Sena was found alive and in good health, after she went missing. Give me one sec, yo. Sorry about that. Was found alive and in good health after she went missing in a campsite in New York. She disappeared after going on a solo bike ride at the state park. Okay, we know that. Almost 48 hours from her disappearance, New York Governor Kathy announced that Charlotte was found safe and her alleged abductor, Craig Nelson Ross Jr., 46, was in custody. We know that. So we quoted her, "We are thrilled, we are happy. We want to make sure he is not we want to make sure he is not connected to any other case," the governor said. Did you? See, I didn't hear her say that. They're now investigating potential links between Ross and other cases. What did I ask you guys? And thank you guys for sending me this article. What did I ask you guys in the survey in the voting? Is this the first time this man committed this type of crime? Or is this the first time he's getting caught? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I promise, guys, I'll get to know my mailman. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. But I'm kind of curious to know, though, is this the first, like, did he think that he was gonna that was the question that I had asked everybody. Hey, Gina, I heard her say that, and I didn't hear her say that though. I must have missed that. And there's no indication at this time, but they want to be sure. Absolutely. Yes. Get off my rabbit ass right now. I will get to know my mailman. I promise y'all. I did. This is the article that she sent me, by the way. I got it. Crafty, this is the article that I just opened, which was the one that Crafty sent and SW sent. Be nice. I am. I'm gonna get to know my mailman. I promise you guys. I promise. Maybe I shouldn't, right? Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. No, you're fine, Vic. You're fine. You're not behind. So that maybe I didn't catch that part when she said that they were checking to see if he's connected to anything else. Neighbors recount confrontation with Craig Ross earlier this year. Carol Brown, a neighbor of Mr. Ross's mother, recounts the moment a local SWAT team surrounded the property in a quiet neighborhood and rescued Charlotte. Okay. I've been praying for 48 hours since I got the first Amber Alert, Miss Brown told CBS News. The entire road lit up with the police officers' helicopters overheard. She just like out of a movie. Miss Brown also claims that earlier this summer she had an incident with Mr. Ross involving her young grandson. Oh Lord. What you mean? What happened? Involving the young grandson. Okay? She said she confronted Mr. Ross, who was reportedly towering over her grandchild and standing over him, right over him, with his back to me, was that man, Miss Brown said. And I believe with all my heart, after last night, that my son was this close. Wow. That's a neighbor. Charlotte Sena's kidnappers ransom note details revealed a suspect is held without bail. So Craig is being held without bail, without bond, at the Saratoga County Correctional Facility, was linked to the kidnapping after he allegedly wrote the note and delivered a ransom note at the Sena residence. According to the arraignment, the note was written with the intent to compel the payment of monies as ransom for Charlotte. Man, he's got this like look on his face. Like, just gives me the creeps. You know? He just does. So he writes a note with the intent to compel with payment. Then here we go. And then They brought in an analysis says the suspect criminal background was a stroke of luck in Charlotte Sena's rescue. So police are working to know whether he knew Charlotte. The governor said that Charlotte was found unharmed and was transported to the hospital for a standard checkup. She was later reunited with her family. It's not been determined that the suspect was known to the family. This is what will be revealed after more extensive questioning, says the governor during the press conference. The vehicle registered to the suspect. The address in the database was 2 miles from Charlotte's home, but it is not known at this point whether he knew or had her under surveillance for a length of time. Wow. Authorities asked the public to submit surveillance videos from around the time of Charlotte Sena's abduction. The police have asked members of the public to come forward with surveillance video. So everybody that's got a Ring camera, I don't know, what are a Nest? What are some of the cameras that are out there other than Ring? You know, all those Ring cameras and stuff. If y'all are out there with these kinds of cameras, yeah, I mean, be helpful to the police in this situation. This is just kind of scary. Gina, thank you for gifting memberships, love. Thank you, Gina. Shout out to Gina. You are awesome. You think he was watching? So this was a target. Dash cams, thank you. Dash cams, all those kinds of cameras. Keep that in mind. So the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office and New York State Police asked the public to come forward with video footage during the hours of 6:15 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. on Saturday from the following roads. Ooh, and they list all the roads, and that's a lot of roads. So I'm just gonna copy those roads and put them in the chat. Hopefully it'll let me paste it there. Hopefully you guys can see that comment. These are the roads that it's asking for anybody that has any private cams, dash cams, trail cams, Ring cams around those time frames between 6:15 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. on Saturday from those following roads. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys are in that area, because I know some of you guys were messaging me and letting me know you guys were in that area, and telling me what's up. Shout out to you. Thank you for the heads up. So, I mean, if you guys are in that area, make sure if you have any camera, anything suspicious that can be helpful, turn it into police. And they're asking you guys just to contact them for more information. So Charlotte is home safe and her alleged kidnapper is in jail, but several questions remain. So I believe she's been released from the hospital. Um, I guess this is traumatizing for this little girl. As the investigation in Charlotte's alleged abduction by Craig Ross continues to unfold, Andrea Blanco explains facets of the case that have yet to be explained. So, what was on the ransom note? I think that's the question that we all have. Like, what was in that note? According to police, like, what was, they were asking for money, but what was the narrative? Um, that we would like to know. Also, like, why was he detained at a certain time? Did they know it was him? Did they follow the suspect when he dropped off the note? Because they were already surveillancing the house. Did they drop? Did they do anything there? And did the kids know? Has he committed any other crimes? I know they're looking for a links. I think it would have taken any kid that was alone since Kitty Coo, right? Ellie, thank you for renewing your membership. Yeah, the loop at the front of the park, so it should have cameras, says Katie. Yes. I'm just curious. I think he had built some type of relationship with Charlotte, and I think she knew him enough to be not to be alarmed when he took her. Right. Um, I don't know. Miss O says this was just for my you think so? I'm just curious. Didn't they get a fingerprint from the note? Yes, they did. They did. But they saw that they saw him drive up there. So why didn't they go up there? Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold up. I have private cams that I've been thinking about putting in the trailer. You should. All of them. I think we should all do it. Sophie, it's all I can think about because that will determine how well she heals from this. She's innocent. Absolutely no child should ever have to go through something like that. Absolutely not. She wasn't alone. That place is not ideal for kidnapping. Right. Who else was in the house? You know what I'm saying? Like who else was there? you know? The loop at the front of the park is of the park, so it should have more cameras. The cop that called in said that this is likely why they're asking the public. We don't know the cameras exist or work, if they exist or work. Gotcha. That's a good point. Sandra, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Thank you. So it just happens that the kids he's stalking decides to do something alone. I don't know about that, right, Kitty? Because some of this is just not making sense. So these are just some of the questions that we all have that we're hoping to at least get some answers. Charlotte's family, of course, is happy about the rescue. Police reveal eerie link between Charlotte and her alleged kidnapper. So police have revealed a possible eerie link between the 9-year-old and her alleged kidnapper. So we know he was charged with the first-degree kidnapping after the 9-year-old was allegedly found hidden in a cabinet. Okay, we know that. It came 48 hours after Charlotte was snatched while riding her bike. Okay. At a press conference on Monday, Governor Kathy revealed the address connected to the suspect vehicle was just 2 miles from Charlotte's home in Greensfield. So Greensfield. So they were just 2 miles apart. So then she was rescued after being missing for 48 hours. I'm happy that she has been found. That is the biggest thing, right? That's the biggest thing. Yay, 2 months. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. I, allegedly, if that is his dad, because I mean, he hasn't said anything, but apparently he's got kids. The man has kids. Can you imagine? And then not only that, then they're looking at you like, damn. But it kind of makes me wonder I'm just going to say it, like, what other things has he done? What other crimes? Is this the first time? I hope if there's a link to some of them, it would be good to know, because that would be helpful, right? At least. I don't know. I know, right? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. If you guys can do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to everybody. Let me shout out a couple people, a couple of the members. So, and everybody that gifted. We had a lot of people that gifted SW, Realification, Chico, Peekaboo, SW, thank you for gifting. Michelle, Gina gifted. Thank you for gifting, Gina. Michelle, thank you for becoming a member. Lanice, thank you for becoming a member. Sarah, thank you for becoming a member. Ellie, Sandra, Alana, Bitch Talk, Angie, thank you guys. Ange, thank you for becoming a member. Emily P, thank you for your super sticker. SW and Chico, thank you for your super stickers. You guys are awesome. My throat is getting dry. All right, this is what I plan to do. I plan to get to know my mailman. That's what I plan to do. All right, just because you guys were dragging me in the comments for not being nice to the mailman. I don't really want to talk to the mailman. Do your mail. I'm not hiding. I just avoid. I just avoid. That's all. That's all. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your night because I'm out of here. I gotta go check on baby bunny. Have a great one, guys. Bye.